you guys watching the video, you lucked out. You lucked out that I had major audio problems because the video was way too long and it's too good of stuff that we're going to go over. I got to make it short and I got to go fast because there's too much in here. Really good stuff that we're going to go over, guys. So let's do it now, damn it. Welcome. Here we go. First off, first bit of news. Ridley out. Can the Jets get any luckier? Seriously. Can the Jets get any luckier? Ridley is such a major force, so important to Ryan. You've got to look at the statistics, look at the games, look at the drives. It's incredible. And his complete lack of using Pitts, except for one drive a game. See if that happens again on Sunday. That'll be pretty funny to look for. I know that because he's on my fantasy team. And all of a sudden I go beep, 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 beep. That's it. One drive. Giant game when they played the Giants. I think he had no catches, no yards going into the fourth quarter. One drive. 4 catches, 38 yards, 42 yards, whatever the hell it was. And that's it. Bam. No more. So the bottom line is, will it be Pitts? Will he go to Pitts more tomorrow? I don't know. But the bottom line is it's a gigantic game. Second thing, guys, there's a lot of good stuff we're going to go over here. Second thing, and I got to go faster. Quinn Williams' story is just insanely good. It's just an incredible story. And the reason it's so incredible is because of a couple of things we're going to talk about. But most importantly is this. That is Quinnen Williams and Quincy Williams' grandmama. That's a mixture between mother and mama. That's their grandmother. Their grandmother. Their brothers. Right? So let's put that aside. That's their grandmother. That was after the game in which the Jets won their first game of the year. Okay? Cool. Quincy Williams gets cut by the Jaguars. He's picked up by the New York Jets. He's brought in, and right away, what the Jaguars saw and did not like, the Jets saw immediately, but saw something else. And what they saw is what we saw. First week of the season, when I posted the video last week and I said I went from wanting Quincy Williams just off the team to be given an extension. That's how up and down I was during the game. I got a couple comments saying, yeah, the interceptions, you can't expect the linebacker to look up. It wasn't the interceptions. Forget about the 2 interceptions that he could have had if he had his head looking in the right spot. Because his head's not looking in the right spot in the interceptions is exactly the problem that he's got to correct of being this high-motored guy that is so focused into the one person, the one guy, whatever it is, that he misses other things. He's a major problem that we had with the screen pass, okay? Watch the plays over. Trust me. He's a major problem with the screen pass. But the plus side is so unbelievable. So unbelievable. So anyway, the Jets pick him up. And he flourishes. And you could see the potential. And he drives you crazy. And Ulbrich comes out and says this past week, after this last game, that what do you do? How do you handle a kid like this? You don't want to rein him in too much because that's what makes him him. His motor, not player, not Hall of Fame, not money he should make. His motor reminds me of one person and one person only, and that's Lawrence Taylor. Motor. Don't take my words out of context, okay? His motor reminds me of Lawrence Taylor. It's insane. And if they can rein that in and put it in the right spot, in the right direction, my goodness gracious, guys, I don't know what we have here. But he has a monster game. He has 12 tackles. He has a sack. His brother has a great game and a sack. And they become the first brothers to ever have a sack for the same team in the same game. Or same anything, same brothers, right? And after the game is over, the two of them walk up to the stands, and it just tugs at every single heartstring you could possibly imagine. And they do a Lambo, they don't show it in the picture, but they did a Lambo leap. and give thanks to the grandmother who raised them, because in 2010, Quincy Williams and Quinnen Williams lost their mom to cancer. So both boys at the time were 12 and 14, something like that. And that grandmother in that picture raised those two boys, gets a front row seat, and gets to see her boys plural, get a sack. I told you, man, we have some great stories today. It's just a great, great story, okay? The next story is, the third story is defense. We got that one. A tremendous congratulations to two people, two winners of the week this week. Number one, of course, John Franklin Meyers. But with John Franklin Meyers, a second person won big time. Big time. It was a major concern of mine in the preseason. It's been a major concern of mine ever since he got here. Not because he didn't sign Jamal Adams. I could care less about Jamal Adams. We'll talk about him later. It was because the loyalty factor, the whole Marcus May thing. I'm not saying he should have signed him or what he offered him. I'm not going that. It's how it looks. And you want the players on the team, especially the young guys that you drafted, to show them that you really perform. You will be rewarded. You will be a Jet. You can be a Jet for life. Don't go by what you're seeing here or what you're reading and all the other nonsense. And the signing of John Franklin Meyers to a 4-year, $55 million contract with $30 million guaranteed for a guy statistically hasn't done much. He really hasn't. But you can't, your eyes don't lie. What we're seeing is the real deal. And for Joe Douglas to hand over that money in this early in the process with a guy like that is a brilliant move. Brilliant move. Because, yeah, this isn't just luck. This guy is doing it week in and week out. His claim to fame before he came to the Jets was in 2018. I believe that was his rookie year. He had a strip sack of Brady. But then injuries and everything, and the bottom line, he just got caught up in the whole depth chart thing of being on a team that was just loaded on the D-line. And Joe Douglas swooped in, picked him up. We didn't hear much of him his first year. I believe he was injured. And then last year, there were signs. But also a lot of the guys on defensive line, when we went into this season, the big reason we went after Lawson is that we had to get a pass rush because there was nobody. We had a bunch of run stuffers, right? That's what the reputation was. The Jets have a bunch of run stuffers because the defense last year, the way it was with the Gase staff and Williams, it was just line of scrimmage, where Saleh and Ulbrich have come in and said, guys, Just put your hand in the dirt and go get him. Just get in the backfield. And now you're seeing who the real pass rushers really are that we weren't able to see last year. We saw John Franklin Meyers last year do a lot of great things, tackles for losses, running back, run, everything. But now the sacks are starting to show up. He has 3 sacks already. He's a half sack behind the sack leader, who is Quinnen Williams with 3.5, and he's just living in the backfield. Every single time there's a bunch of Jets. He's leading the pack. He's right in the middle of it. And his signing is a great message to the whole team. It puts that fire out. Done. My concern with Joe, it's done. It's a great contract for John Franklin Meyers. Really deserves it. We're way ahead of last time. Good. Okay, signing a long-term deal. That's good. 3 sacks. We got that. Oh, story number 4, Denzel Mims. Slowly but surely, if you read, you got to really read this stuff. And the great thing about me doing these videos is I'm watching these press conferences. I'm watching and listening to stuff that I just would never listen to. Or if I did, I'd do it while I'm, making a burger. I wouldn't concentrate that much on it. But when you really read these articles and read into it, Denzel Mims gave us more information. Denzel Mims quietly gave us the information. He said, yeah, The coaches have told him what they want from him, and yes, he is getting it now. That's exactly what he said. He's getting it now. So my question is this. What did you have to be told that Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Braxton Berrios, Elijah Moore, Keenan Cole, who am I missing? Jeff Smith didn't have to be told? What did you need to be told that those guys didn't? And that to me starts to raise more flags. I have gone so far all over the place with this whole Denzel Mims things. Everything from almost going down the path that the coaches have a hard on for this guy for some reason, to where I am today. And where I am today is this. We like to make a big deal. And after the game, the first game of the season, I even brought it up in the video, in my post-game video. I brought it up how the big catch by Mims, you really got to watch the play again. So here it is. This is the catch that everybody keeps pointing to, saying he had a 40-yard great catch, 40-yard. You know, he's big, 6'3", good hands. You know, this great route, and now we don't see him anymore. This is the catch where a lot of Jet fans hang their hats on. Watch the route, watch the speed, watch the play.
Another look at the catch by Mims.
See, you see Mims, you know, it's the corner is squatting. The safety's going to have a hard time getting around.
That's a defender not even running a route. Just running down the sideline at about 75, 80% speed. There's no reason for him to burn. I'm not knocking him for being lazy, because they're in a major prevent defense, right? And he's looking for a soft spot on the sideline. And he finally finds one way down the field. He turns, the ball is perfectly put right to him. There's no tremendous moves to the inside to try to get yardage or anything like that. He just gets the ball and steps out of bounds. Not a big deal. So when you look at that play, you know, we got to remember what that 40-yard catch was. Okay? The next thing, important. Last year, we really got to use our memory here, guys. We can't forget what happened. Last year, we were very frustrated with the fact that Sam Darnold wasn't getting the ball to him. After waiting for him, all these injuries, he has a couple breakout moments, a couple great catches, and yes, you can see the talent. Question, since he's been a Jet, tell me the time you saw his speed. Preseason or regular season? This sub 4.4 speed that he has. It's not a rumor. I don't think, it's not a lie. He's got it. Where has it been? Where have you seen it? Even on the crossing patterns that he caught last year, it was more of you didn't see the speed. And it's not laziness. I don't want anybody to think that. I'm saying that about this kid. But you would figure in a preseason game, something. Well, he was hurt for preseason. But somewhere, sometime last year with all the games, and we just never saw it, even last year. So now this year happens. Now this is happening. Why would the coaching staff, I asked the question, why are they doing this? They are telling us, this is what I said. I'm going to make myself look really bad here. I said, they are telling us two things here. Either Jeff Smith is a better wide receiver than Denzel Mims, as is Keelan Cole, as is Braxton Berrios, or they are intentionally trying to hurt Zach Wilson by not giving him the best receivers. It's one or the other. That was my two choices. Now, it can't be number two, but I put it out there because I'm confused what's going on here. How can you tell me that Jeff Smith is a better receiver than Denzel Mims. Jeff Smith, every time he's on the road, makes a catch a game. Yeah, but they haven't targeted Denzel, Jake. I understand. I'm with you. I still believe this kid could be a very good receiver. But let's go back to one more thing. Ready? We all talk about this miracle draft. The Jets have the 48th pick, and they're going to pick a receiver. There's no doubt about it. And then what does Joe Douglas do? Joe Douglas moves down from 48 to 59. The fan base is horrified. People are in an outrage. They cannot believe that he just did this. How do you do this when you need a receiver? Is it really worth the extra pick in the third round or fourth? Was it worth it? It was the third round. Check out those picks that we got. What we use those for. So let's dig deeper. But it's made. You can't do anything about it. What does Seattle do? They take edge rusher Darrell Taylor out of Tennessee. What does Pittsburgh do? Pittsburgh takes Chase Claypool. Last year, Chase Claypool had 873 yards, 14.1 average, 84-yard long, and 9 touchdowns. This year, off to a little bit slower start, 211 yards, 14.1 still, 52-yard long, and no touchdowns yet this year. So he's a little bit off from last year. The Bears then go ahead and take cornerback Jalen Johnson. Dallas takes Trevin Diggs from Alabama. The Rams take Cam Akins. The Philadelphia Eagles take Jalen Hurts. Buffalo takes Epenesa from Iowa. He's an edge rusher. Baltimore through New England via Atlanta takes J.K. Robbins, running back, Ohio State. Miami through New Orleans takes the Raekwon Davis. God, my eyes are shot. And I know the glasses are on top of my head. The Rams then go ahead and take a receiver, Van Jefferson. Now, Van Jefferson in 2020 had 220 at this time for the season. Had 220 yards, 11.6 yard average, 31 long, 1 touchdown. Nothing special. He's off to a better start so far this year, though. He's already beat last year. He's up to 242. 17.3 yards a catch, 67 for a long, and 2 touchdowns. So he's doubled the touchdowns from last year already. Van Jefferson, LA Rams. Minnesota Vikings go on to take offensive lineman Urza Cleveland, Boise State. And then the New York Jets pick Denzel Mims. Why did I just read all of that stuff? To point out 2 things. Number 1, 2 receivers were picked during that time. They just were not Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims was the last guy. So, 12 teams didn't like or like somebody more than Denzel Mims. And he fell to us. And it was talked about the big miracle. Joe Douglas is a genius. How did he know this was going to happen? He didn't. He probably rolled the dice that there was 11 or 12 picks. There's 3 receivers that he might be interested in. Maybe there was a 4th. If Denzel Mims was picked. And that he would have picked whatever receiver was available at that time, he would have picked him. Maybe he wanted Chase Claypool. Maybe he wanted Van Jefferson. Maybe if Mims went, he would have taken Van Jefferson. I don't know. I do know. He would have taken it. Well, I know he would have taken a receiver. But we all, I'm losing. We all talk about this miracle. And the bottom line is, I'm just looking at the time here, guys. I'm sorry. And the bottom line is behind this miracle is it probably wasn't really a miracle after all. There are certain things that teams saw that they just did not like Denzel Mims. And I really am wondering if by November 2nd, trade deadline, whether Denzel Mims will still be a Jet. I believe they will. He will. I believe that it's just ridiculous to trade him at this point. I believe they see enough talent in him to just keep working and working and, keep, if it's a 2-year project, it's a 2-year project. Because to trade a second rounder with the talent potential that he has, you're not getting a second rounder back for Denzel Mims now. No way, no how. Teams are not like us. They're not going to be sitting there pissed off and say, hey, we got to get that Denzel Mims. Look at the way the Jets are treating him. They're more like, well, what the F is really going on here? They're a lot more reasonable than we can be. No second round pick, no third round pick. Maybe a fourth. That's what my guess is. So that's Denzel Mims. Right? Next story is just a quickie. Jets leave Thursday night. The game plan for the Jets is not to sleep. I mean, the sleep will be on the plane. That is your bed. They'll leave Thursday evening, sleep, 7-hour plane ride. When they get to England, they are not going to bed. They're going to do a couple things. They're going to practice. They're going to eat. And then they're going to go to bed early. So by the time they wake up, their goal is by the time they wake up Saturday morning, jet lag, everything will be gone. They'll have their crappy sleep of Thursday night and a great Friday night sleep, and it's over. So it's a game plan. Same game plan they did in Jacksonville. They tried 3 different things in Jacksonville. The first thing is they left on Monday. The second one is they left on a Sunday, which Salah said was, you got to see that part of the video, it's hysterical. Was just because we didn't know what the hell to do with ourselves. And then the last thing they did was Thursday, and even Keelan Cole said it was by far the best out of all of them. So that's the Jets game plan, and the Falcons are doing identically the same thing. Okay. The last one is a game. Ready? Who will have the higher pick? Which pick of our first round picks will be the higher one? The Jet pick or the Seahawk pick? It's time for that discussion to begin if the Jets win this weekend. Because if they do, they'll both be 2-3. And I don't know if you saw it. Maybe he'll be back next Sunday. I don't know if you saw Wilson's finger. Wow. That was effed up looking, bud. That was horrible. What pick will be the higher pick? I'm definitely going. It's gonna be the Seahawk pick. It's just the way life works out. Because the last thing we're going to talk about real quickly is Jamal Adams. Oh, this is just, guys, you don't know how good this is going to get. You don't know how good this is going to get. This is one of those, go to the counter, get your popcorn, splash it with butter, grab your soda, get a chair, and wherever you like to sit in the theater to watch this movie, whether it's the middle, front row, back row, wherever it is, get a seat because this is going to be one of the great shows. Jamal Adams currently is third on the Seahawks in tackles, 21 behind the leader, Wagner, 21 behind him. He currently has 0 sacks, 0. I can catch a football better than him. Promise that. I believe the offer that Joe Douglas made him, whatever it was, is the best offer he will get. The Seahawks are one of the worst teams in the NFL in passing yards allowed. He is a safety. He's got no sacks this year. If you've also noticed, he is being a choir boy, and it's making me sick because I'm not buying it for a second. he is not fooling a lot of us with this choir boy bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a friggin' act. His agents are screaming at him, shut, don't say one word. Because all it would take is for him to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. A little bit. And his worth would go down even more. Because teams aren't fooled. They know the real Jamal Adams and what a pain in the ass he'll be as soon as he signs that damn contract. With whoever he signs it with. But why would you pay him? Why would you pay him that kind of money? I promise you, I really believe in all my heart that the best offer that he's received so far is the offer that he got from Joe Douglas. His value, his worth, if you go by his own statistics, which were impressive last year with sacks, period, end of story. They sucked against the pass last year, too. He's a glorified linebacker. Call him what he is. He's not a safety. He's a linebacker with shitty hands. But if he's not able to get to the quarterback, you know, this isn't going to be they're not signing the 22, 23-year-old Jamal Adams who's out of his mind, reckless, looks like Quincy Williams. You know? By the time this contract really kicks into gear in the next couple of years, Jamal's going to be in his late 20s. Mid to late 20s. If he's not able to give you 8, 7, 8, 9 sacks a year, he's worthless. Yeah, he's good against the run. Look at the look, guys, listen. Look at the safeties on the Jets right now. Look at the Jet defense right now. I think we can all agree the most important players on a defense is your main linebacker, whoever that is, and if he happens to have some real good ones left and right, then you've got a superior defense if your defensive line is strong. Look, we saw it last week. The Jets dominated that for the most part, except for maybe 4 or 5 screen passes and 4 or 5 long runs. The safety position, you cannot pay a guy like that. He's got to do that and be a ball hawk at least to get that kind of money, $17, $18 million. You can't pay a guy like that on one of the worst passing defenses. What a bad year he picked to have no sacks. 5 games into the season, 0. If you're a Jet fan, we're laughing all the way to the draft bank. So, who will have the higher pick? Who will have the higher pick? It'll be really interesting if this injury with Wilson, and I'm sorry I didn't get an update beforehand. If you see something scrolling on the bottom, that means I did get an update. And I'll put it in the bottom here. Guys, have a great one. Don't forget, Sunday, if you're hanging out, and instead of throwing the remote control at the cat burglar, not a cat, you'd never throw a remote control at a cat. We love cats. And we love dogs. We always love dogs. And we love cats. What was I talking about? Oh, throwing remote controls. I am live, 9 o'clock in the morning. Pop on in, say hello. I did some testing last night, up and running. The only thing I couldn't do, because I'm going to be doing that, is bring a guest aboard. I'm getting the whole Skype thing. I should have that done by tomorrow. I won't be having any guests, but what I might do, if I have the damn thing up and running by Sunday, is if some of you guys are out there and you want to come on board and come online with me, and we'll talk, and I'll ask you questions and stuff like that, we can do that too. But let me see if I have that up and running Sunday. Bottom line is, if you're just sitting there watching the game and you got your phone next to you and your computer next to you, however you're watching the game, pop on in, say hello. And to show you that I'm being fair, don't come if you're using, unless you want to be frustrated, you're using a outside streaming service, quote unquote. You know what I mean by that? If you're using, you know, that delay, it's anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes sometimes. And that could be very frustrating because I'll be talking, or maybe if there's anybody that shows up. I'm not expecting many people to show up, so don't worry about it. I'm not advertising it at all. At all. It's more practice. But again, for you guys, if you're around, come on in, man. Hang out. Hang out. Bring a cup of coffee. I'll be on 9 o'clock. And I'll stay throughout the game. And we'll watch the Jets. Win. Win, damn it. Win. And that's it. How long did I go? How long did I go? Let's see here real quick. 31 minutes. 17 minutes less than the last video. I'm telling you, I wouldn't shut the F up. Guys, have a great weekend. And I got to see how I'm going to like this. Sunday morning, huh? We'll see how we like it. I can't remember the last one. I can't remember if I enjoyed it or not. But this is cool. This is cool. Sunday morning. Come on by, boys and girls. Have a great one. And subscribe. Thank you.